2025 Jeep Gladiator order banks are now open. This Easter Jeep Safari concept can also be ordered direct from Jeep's website, and some cool options that have now become standard on the Wrangler and the Gladiator. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's get started. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to say that today is the third day of posting Jeep news on our channel, and it's exciting for us because everything is kind of coming out all at once, and we've been waiting so long for all of this happening. Now, while it's all coming out, there's a lot of cool stuff going on as well. Not only are the order banks opening, but also it seems like the Jeep Build and Price website portion is available as well, which in past years, that wasn't really open as soon as the order guides came out. So it's pretty neat to see those actually simultaneously coming together, and it's also neat to see our prediction of a August to October release of the 2025 come out in September. We were right on the money when it came down to that. Now, this is actually something from one of our viewers and fans, Matthew Berger. I told you I was going to give you a shout out on this video. This is your shout out. Thank you for sending this over when you did. This Easter Jeep Safari concept has been out, I think it was a year or two ago when it actually was released, and it is the 41 4xe concept. It was a Sarge Green 41 4xe with wagon wheels on it, steel bumper, tan top, tan interior, half doors, all the jazz. It looked like a complete retro 1941 Ford GPW, or GPW as they call it. And it was a concept at Easter Jeep Safari. Well, you can go on Jeep.com and build and price this out. So this Easter Jeep Safari concept actually turned into a reality and is the first look that we have at the 41 color on the website. Now, while it might be a little bit different from what's on the website when we see it in real life, it seemed to be pretty dang close to what that concept color looks like. The neat thing, in Ryan and I's opinion, is that when you actually go to the build and price to build this out, it's a Willys 4xe, but it comes in that 41 color, a tan top, tan seats, steel front bumper, steel rear bumper, and a whole lot of other goodies, including paint matched 41 color fenders. This is like the ultimate throwback, and honestly, I'm excited to see one of the Easter Jeep Safari concepts become a reality. I think hopefully this is an inkling that they're going to start to make these Easter Jeep concepts more of a actual vehicle. The other neat thing about the 41 concept is that it had the different wheels on it. So those wagon wheels are those kind of steelies. I imagine they're cast aluminum, but they were paint matched in the 41 color. You could option the snorkel on there, you could option some other things. And although it's a 4xe, which I wish they would do this on like a Willys or a standard one, it's still a super, super badass concept on there that has become a reality. So we built it out, we played with it a little bit, we're gonna put up some images. It did drop for a second, Ryan, and I thought it was Jeep finally figuring out that it was my IP address, looking at their website, and they were like, we're not gonna let Matt build it out. But no, it was like coming back and coming back on. I think the initial launch of the 25 Wrangler has had some glitches on the website because the images were actually mixed matched on there. So give it a day or two for it to really kind of figure itself out, and you should be able to go on and build that. Now, this pricing of the 41 Willys 4xe starts at $59,930 for all of those things that I just told you. You can option it out a little bit differently. You can actually add on a color match top. I think the Sky One Touch was available on a couple different things that you could actually do. If you want to pick one of those up, or any brand new Jeep or a Jeep that's sitting on the lot already, be sure to reach out to our dealership affiliate partner. We'll leave the link down below. It's Dan Cummins down in Kentucky. Let's talk about the 25 Gladiator, because that has been the title of this video, and we've been waiting for that to come out, and it only took 2 days later. So we're excited to see it here, and as we went through the PDF order guide, which shout out to JeepGladiatorForums.com, we will leave the link down below as well so you can go through it. There's a couple things that really stood out to us, and I wanted to break it down a little bit in this video for those of you that are interested in a Gladiator, as well as those that are debating a 24 or a 23 or maybe even a used one as what they've come out with. So far, there's no 4xe Gladiator. We're waiting to see what happens. They were talking about it. They're saying they're going to do it. Nothing yet on the order guides as of today, the release of this video. The 3 trims that are available are the Sport, the Rubicon, and the Mojave. So the Sport obviously can be broken down into a lot of other trims, but the Rubicon and the Mojave both have the X with them as well. The first and biggest difference that we saw is there's no more manuals. So it's like the complete opposite of what Wrangler's doing. The Gladiator has no more manuals, so you can't order it as of today, and is the 3.6 auto. So all the Jeep Wrangler guys that want a 3.6 auto that can no longer get it, that sets exclusively paired with the manual now, you can get it on the Gladiator. Kind of an odd push for me, What Ryan and I discussed off camera is maybe they're trying to convince Wrangler guys that wanted that engine configuration to move over to a Gladiator to help those sell a little bit, but it's kind of a far-fetched idea. So 3.6 auto, the only engine and transmission option available for the Gladiator, and it's a no-charge option. That's pretty sick because I remember always the 3.6, when you did the automatic, it was like a $2,500 option. Cool thing too, the Sport's starting at $38,100. So a Sport Gladiator is starting at $38,100, which last year at 2024, I believe it was $40,195 or somewhere. Don't quote me exactly, but prices have come down on the Gladiator quite substantially, $2,000 right off of that trim model there. And there's a couple different trims that we can break out to. Obviously, we have the same or similar to what the 24s were. So the Sport can be broken out into just a standard Sport. You can get that Nighthawk edition, which comes with like 20-inch wheels and some other features. There's the Willys, of course. There's a new one actually on the Gladiator, and that's the High Tide. So the High Tide edition can now be over onto the Gladiator, which comes with some special interior features, including some McKinley leather, some special medallions, things of that nature on there. But that's kind of neat to see that crossover from the Wrangler into the Gladiator. But going down through, there's not as many things that I thought there would be. It was more the leather, color-matched hardtop, things like that that you could get on the base Sport to make it a little bit more premium. However, when I went down through, the things I didn't notice, no more dual door group. You could still get the soft top, still get the hard top, but not much had changed on there. I mean, when I looked at it, it was eerily similar besides the price points to the 24 Gladiator. Well, guys, the one thing that we have noticed too, the news is coming out very quickly. So if we actually look at the Stellantis North America page and scroll down, Gladiator will be getting Fathom Blue and the 41 color. So it's not in the order guide, but it does look like it's here on the official Stellantis press release. We'll try and keep you up to date as soon as all of this comes out. The Rubicons actually start at $50,100. That's, I think I paid like $53 for my first Gladiator in 2020. And it was a Rubicon, so pricing's very similar there, except you get curtain airbags, you get the new screen, you get all that loaded up. And then the Mojave is actually, I think, at $50,100 as well. So both of those are in the same characteristic. The one thing I wanted to mention, though, as well, that is really, really cool, and both of these are going to be features of both the Wrangler and the Gladiator, and I would love to give a drum roll because this is super exciting. Power windows and power locks are now standard on every trim of the Wrangler and the Gladiator. Every single trim.
1 year too late.
Ryan was 1 year too late. And me and Scott Bloom were messaging last night, the other night, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I don't think you mentioned this in your first video because I didn't see it. Power windows and power locks are standard, and the MSRP went up $100 more. So for $100, Ryan could have had all that built into his Jeep, but he loves those crank windows and manual locks. So yes, they are standard now. 2025, it took Jeep how many years to make these standard, but power windows and power locks are standard.
So the crank's going away for good.
It's gone. Yeah, no more crank windows and manual locks. Everyone, I think, wants to be upset with that. And then when I post a video where they're now standard or it's an option, like everyone's happy with it, it seems like people are back and forth. I'm glad the price didn't go up on them to include that, but yeah, it's all standard now, so power windows, power locks. Now in the past two videos, I've made some points that Jeeps are not just a rock crawler, off-roader, kind of weekend toy vehicle anymore at the price point that they are at. I see it when we look at different prices, when we check out the internet, Jeeps are not a cheap toy or a cheap vehicle anymore. So the point I was trying to make in the past two videos and I wanted to touch on is that for the price, we expect more options or we expect more standard. And that's what I was trying to make with that point. For $40,000 as a Wrangler four-door, that's not a cheap vehicle. For $40,000 to have crank windows, no power locks, no proximity entry, a small screen, no curtain airbags, steel wheels, it should be more loaded up for that price point. Or if not, drop the price down to like 25 or 30 grand. So there was a lot of comments that were talking, you know, this is the problem, you guys want too much, you want this and that, I want a basic Jeep. We agree, and we want a basic Jeep too, but we don't want to pay a basic Jeep and pay $40,000 for it. We'd love a basic Jeep at 25, but if we're paying 40, you best be dang sure that you're getting all of your monies out of it. You know, I want to make sure if I'm buying a brand new house, if I'm paying $200,000 for that house, I want to have as many nice features as I can. I'm not going to pay that price and get a dilapidated, beat up home. That's kind of the point we tried to make just by saying for the price point, we want these features. And if you don't want all these features, we'd love to see a Jeep entry model that was either a 2-door or 4-door that was stripped down. The other neat thing too, we were talking and looking at some of the options. It's something we kind of glanced over the last video, was the fact that the power seats, so the premium power seats with the leather, Napa leather and all that, on the Rubicon, and it seems like a couple other options on both the Wrangler and Gladiator, can be added as a standard or standalone option. So if you buy like a base Rubicon, you can option those for $19.95 and get power seats and leather. To me, if that's a creature comfort that you want, if you enjoy power seats, if you want more lumbar support, adding them on for $2,000 is about the same price as just putting leather over your factory seats. So a great option on Jeep's part. I think Jeep needs to return to like the 2021 and 2022 model years when it was like a free-for-all of ordering. We just pulled in here at the shop and looked at my dad's Jeep, a Willys XR Gobi dual top group with a tan top, tan interior, all these goodies, and I think he paid like $45, $46 for it. And you could get literally limitless options. You could choose it exactly how you want it. But yeah, once again, just getting some Jeep news out there. This is some cool stuff. I mean, I'll be honest, the happiest thing I am, power windows and power locks are standard. I mean, it only took like 30 years or whatever, how many years for it, but that's super neat. And the Gladiator price is coming down. I mean, they're like a couple grand less than the last year's MSRP. I think a lot of Jeeps are gonna need to follow suit to that, but we'll have to see what is coming out next, because we've been promised a 4xe Gladiator from all those corporate documents, and we've been promised some other patents that we've been seeing. So who knows, maybe we'll see that in the late end of 2025, maybe some new colors and some more trims. I'd still love to see an XR package on the Gladiator too. That's one thing that has never come about, but a lot of cool stuff going on. Hopefully we get some more Jeep news. We haven't seen anything on the 2025 Final Edition 392, so I'd be curious to see what colors, if that 41 color passes over to that, that'd be a beautiful color on that Jeep, but we just need to wait and see. And you guys know, if you want all the up-to-date, latest and greatest news, product installs, and anything else Jeep, stay tuned to Dirt Road Cred. And until next time, Ryan's behind the camera, and I'm here talking to you, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.